Hello and welcome to Astro-Sound Oracle. My name's Jennifer, and in this video I'm going to be bringing to you the astrological energies for the full moon in Aquarius taking place this Sunday, August 22nd at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. At the end of this video, you'll have the opportunity to listen to the planetary frequencies and blends that I have created for this specific full moon chart. I'm going to be talking about not only what is happening in the full moon chart and showing those aspects to you, but I will also go over a few of the very potent aspects that are taking place and activating the USA's natal chart. There's a lot going on, a lot of intense energies, but it is good as long as we know how to deal with these energies. And my purpose in bringing sound to you is to help you get acclimated, become entrained and in harmony with the energies that the entire planet is undergoing and experiencing right now, so that we can, in our own coming back into harmony, we can help our planet restore harmony as well for all life. All right, so this is the astrological portion of this video. And as you can see, we've got a chart full of aspects. A lot is going on inside the circle. This shows you the geometric patterns that the aspects create. And this chart was drawn up for the location of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But I'm going to break the most relevant aspects down for you. So in this Aquarius full moon chart, we have a grand air trine involving Venus in Libra, right here, Saturn in Aquarius, and the North Node in Gemini. In general, trines are harmonious energies where the flow of energy is easy, harmonious, unobstructed. And in the air sign, this means that information, data, it's like an information download. This information download is like somebody flipping a switch, and we're able to access information we did not have access to previously. So with Venus in Libra, Venus draws energy to itself. And what it's drawing to itself in this chart is harmony. The scales are wanting to balance the polar opposites. It is justice. These are the scales of justice that the sign or the symbol of Libra represents. Equality and fairness. These are all of the energies that Libra represents. Saturn in Aquarius involves authority and mastery. In Aquarius, it is asking us to, with Saturn being retrograde, we're reviewing how authority has clamped down on humanity and humanity's freedom, both of which are Aquarian characteristics. All of humanity is Aquarius. Forward movement is Aquarius. The freedom to experiment, to breathe easy, it's inhalation, exhalation. These are all things that these energies represent. Saturn retrograde is having us review this. Now, on the upside, the positive side of Saturn in Aquarius is asking people, Aquarius, to remember and express its own authority and mastery. In other words, we're being asked to be the champions of our own destiny, to be the master of our own destiny. The North Node in Gemini, first of all, the North Node is the North Star for the collective mind. This is where we are headed. The South Node represents past conditioning that we're growing out of. It no longer serves us, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But right now, the North Node in Gemini is the symbol of the twins, so there's no gray area. These two pillars represent black and white. It's a clear-cut decision. We can either continue down the path that we've always tread and get the same results, or we can choose a new pathway. And the energy of this grand trine is providing information to us that is going to help us make that clear-cut decision. All right, this is the next aspect I'd like to go over with you. We have Mercury, the ruler of the North Node in Gemini, by the way. So in this chart, Mercury is very pivotal and powerful for these reasons. It's the ruler of our North Node in Gemini, asking us to make that clear-cut decision. The fact that Mercury sits in Virgo is helping us to sift and sort through what is necessary, what is not necessary, what is healthy, a Virgo characteristic, what is unhealthy. The fact that it is conjunct Mars means that our personal mind and our physical energy and ambition and drive is moving us in the same direction. All about sorting and sifting through what needs to stay and what needs to go. Uranus in Taurus, Uranus is the planet of revolutionary change. Uranus rules Aquarius, meaning that it heavily influences this Aquarius full moon. And we had already last month on July 23rd, an Aquarius full moon at 1 degree of Aquarius. So that new sign and that new sign's energy. Now we're at the end with this Aquarius full moon at 29 degrees, which I'll get to in a minute. Uranus is ruling this Aquarius full moon as well. And the fact that the planet of revolutionary change is in the sign of Taurus, this is about revolutionizing our values and what we view as wealth. And with this connection of Taurus to Virgo, there is a blending, a harmonious blending and recognition of the fact that our wealth is tied directly into our health and the body. The sci-fi, futuristic, advanced technology that Uranus represents, combined with these earth sign energies, is reminding us that it is spiritual technology found within the very essence and cells of our body that is the technology that is being brought forward and that we need to carry into the future, should we choose to do that. Otherwise, our choice is to continue giving our power away to authorities that want to dehumanize us and want to turn us into sci-fi robots without this spiritual authority that lives within us and that is seeking expression at this time. The next aspect I'd like to show you that is occurring at this full moon is Mercury at 18 Virgo. I just talked about Mercury. It is making an opposition to Neptune at 22 degrees of Pisces. This in and of itself is this dialogue asking us to exchange energies between Mercury, the mind that is sifting and sorting through what's necessary and what needs to go, and the Piscean energy exalted in Neptune, because Neptune is in its hometown. It's in its home sign of Pisces. So there is a very strong energy of deception going on. In the high vibration of Pisces, we're in touch with our spiritual ideals, and we, through the visioning process, we bring them into tangible form. And Mercury and Virgo can certainly help us do that. That is definitely an option I am inviting us to move forward. But the low side of Pisces is also one of utter deception, where we have given our power away to untrustworthy individuals or entities or groups. And inevitably, Neptune teaches us where our dream has become a nightmare. So this is the dialogue that is going to be highlighted with this opposition. Now, add to that the fact that the United States Neptune is at 22 degrees of Virgo. And that means that it is forming that the full moon sky, the full moon chart with Neptune at 22 degrees of Pisces is making an exact opposition to Neptune at 22 degrees of Virgo in the United States chart. And Mercury in this full moon chart is conjoining Neptune. What it means is that Neptune, for decades, has had the United States in a particular cycle. And now that cycle is coming to conclusion. It is about lifting the veil of where our dream has become a nightmare and where this cycle needs to conclude. So Mercury is once again, Mercury and Mars in Virgo in this full moon chart. Their energy is helping us see where the dream has become a nightmare. And with Neptune in this current sky being exactly opposed the USA's natal Neptune, this is like a full moon. It's reflecting back to us where this cycle has culminated and come to its fullest expression so that we can close this cycle out and begin a new cycle with Neptune that allows us to reclaim our spiritual vision and allow that to be what manifests as we move forward. The next aspect I want to show you is the full moon chart making a very close aspect to the United States moon. On the inside circle, we have the United States chart, and I've just brought up the moon so that you're not distracted by the other aspects. The United States moon is at 27 degrees of Aquarius, and this full moon is taking place at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So it is also conjunct Jupiter retrograde at 26 degrees of Aquarius. So just given the fact that this full moon makes such a close aspect to the United States moon, this is another cycle where we are asked to really examine what the energy of Aquarius means to us. We need to be reminded that this country was founded upon the quest for freedom and independence, Aquarian characteristics. We have the soul of a rebel. We fought against British oppression, against our right to religious freedom and freedom of expression being quashed and stifled by an outside authority. This is something that's really important to remember at this full moon. And the fact that we have Jupiter retrograde at 26 degrees of Aquarius. If you recall, the North Node at this time is in the sign of Gemini. That means that the South Node in the sky right now is in Sagittarius. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. The South Node is energy we're moving away from. The North Node is what we're moving toward. With Jupiter being the ruler of the South Node in Sagittarius and being retrograde, this is reminding us that Sagittarius, which represents foreign influences, we have to re-examine where those foreign influences have undermined our freedom, our right to speech, our right to religious freedom and independence. With Jupiter, the ruler of the South Node, now sitting in Aquarius, retrograde, we are being asked to revisit, re-examine, reassess where our relationship with foreign countries has hindered rather than helped our quest for freedom and independence. All right, the last aspect that I want to share with you is a T-square that this full moon is creating with the planet Sedna. You can see at this full moon, we have the sun at 29 degrees of Leo, the moon at 29 degrees of Aquarius, and that forms by exact degree 29 degrees of Taurus, where Sedna sits. Now, just as we are culminating and concluding a Neptunian cycle that lasted for decades, there has been another cycle taking place for multiple millennia. Sedna, discovered in 2003, has made its way back to the awareness of the conscious collective, has made its way back to our solar system, close enough so that astronomers were able to identify a planet in 2003. They named Sedna in 2004, and Sedna is the immortal sea woman who reminds us of our connection to water, and we've had significant increases in water events all over the globe since Sedna's discovery. But Sedna sitting in Taurus is reminding us that we need to be in harmony with all life on planet Earth, and that we are citizens not just of this Earth, but of the cosmos as well. In this T-square, Sedna is revealing to us the monumental crossroads we face as a global civilization now, and that our technology isn't just about what we can genetically modify. It's not separate from nature. Nature itself has its own incredibly miraculous technology that Aquarian energy can sometimes forget and bypass and just seek scientific advancement for the sake of it and for the sake of intellectual advancement. But we have to remember that our natural gifts are spiritual, and we can find them by connecting to nature, and we can find them by understanding more about our own physical body, and that includes the DNA. There is so much ancient memory, another Sedna characteristic. Sedna is reminding us of the ancient cataclysmic trauma that the body of Earth it holds in her memory and is trying to heal and trying to harmonize right now. But she needs our help. And the way that we can help her the most is by remembering our own ancient trauma and through the shamanic process to transform those dark energies, ancestral memories, and ancestral traumas. But we've all experienced them. The more that we allow ourselves to face this trauma and transform it, we can then transcend duality and come into a more harmonious existence for all life on this planet. It's not just about human beings, it's about Earth herself. And we can help Earth heal and ascend. Sedna is revealing to us very potently at this full moon time that we are at a crossroads, and it's the spiritual technology that will move us into a much lighter and brighter future. So I hope that listening to these harmonies will activate and awaken that harmony within you. And if you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please let me know in the comments section below. I would also really appreciate it if you would like, share, subscribe, and visit my website if you'd like to learn more about my work or the books that I've published on Sedna and on planetary signatures and medicine. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time on Astro-Sound Oracle. So I decided to do things a little differently. I decided to show you the aspect and then play these tuning forks for you live. So for this grand air trine, I'm using Venus, Saturn, and I'm using Mercury for the North Node in Gemini, since Mercury rules Gemini. Now for this same air trine, I'm going to play something a little off the beaten path. I'm still using Mercury for the North Node in Gemini, Mercury. I'm using Uranus for Aquarius. And instead of Venus for Libra, I'm using Nibiru. And this is very non-traditional. I am using the energy of Nibiru because I feel that it is representative of where we're going as a collective. Nibiru is known as the planet of the crossing. And as a collective, I feel that we are actually moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. We're crossing over into brand new energies, a brand new future. And Nibiru is the story of the Anunnaki genetic modification, and one brother who worked to free humanity, and the other brother who wanted to enslave humanity. And we are being faced with those same issues right now. So for this grand air trine and what it represents for us, and the portal of opening, the portal and opening that it represents for higher consciousness, I wanted to use these three frequencies. All right, the next aspect between Mercury, Mars, and Uranus. Mercury, Mars, and Uranus. The next one is going to be Mercury with Neptune. Remember the Mercury-Neptune opposition. In fact, I'll bring up that chart. Mercury and Neptune. All right, I'm going to play Sun and full moon with Jupiter to represent the Jupiter conjunction of this full moon. And then I will do Sun, full moon with Uranus to represent the moon, the full moon in Aquarius. This is Sun, full moon, and Jupiter. Sun, full moon, and Uranus to represent the full moon in Aquarius. And the last frequency that I'm going to play for you is Sun, full moon, and Sedna.